So thanks for joining us, Doc. Appreciate it.
Hey,
Yeah,
so
we're just not gonna take too much of your time. Probably like 15 minutes or so. Just want to ask you a couple questions, and everybody's going to and we're gonna get a couple of questions from chat too for those that are watching the show. So I guess why don't we start off, if you could maybe tell us a little bit about how you kind of got started in mod making, what drove you to get started, and and how that went for you right off the bat.
I just got into it to get into it pretty much. Wanted to, build something that I liked and just took off from there. Everybody knows, I got into Genesis and there was something about all of them I didn't particularly care for and just decided to build my own.
And the first device was the Bliss, right?
Well, yeah, the first real production device. I made uh, VVs before that, but that was just kind of something I just messed around with.
So you were making like variable voltage box mods or tube mods or what?
Box mods.
Yeah. You still have any of those kicking around?
I don't.
No.
So no, they sold pretty well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them in St. Louis. So yeah, I don't know what I do with my. Oh, I don't know what I did with it. I ended up selling them back. My last two were those snakeskin ones that I airbrushed.
Oh, nice. Okay. So what are you vaping on right now?
Nemesis and Micro.
Nice. Yeah, I can't put the micro down, man. This thing's not to
Makes
be
two
a
of it.
not to be a kiss ass, but it's pretty badass.
Yeah, I can't put it down myself, so
Yeah.
uh, I'm quite happy with it. I've got a 22. Actually, I got a couple of micros here and a couple 22s here, so I'm
You
just
should
really starting to.
you should tell everybody about how you use the micro. You were telling me earlier today.
Oh, on the Congestus?
Oh, well that's hilarious. Can you hold that up? Yeah, that's funny. So the Congestus is a telescoping 26650 mod, if you're not familiar, and it's pretty much not the biggest mod out there, but pretty damn close, and maybe the smallest Genesis Addy on the market, and he throws them on there together. But I was actually talking about how you use it as a dripper and don't even fill it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't. I just drip 8, 10 drops in it whenever needed, and whatever flows in the tank flows in the tank.
Nice. Oh, had a car alarm going off there. Sorry about that. So, um, I don't know how much of this information you can share, but I gotta ask, what should we expect from you coming up here in the near future? Do you have any interesting devices coming up? Are you working on any mods? What do you got? What do you got that
Oh,
you can talk about?
I just started a new mod as of right now. I'm calling it the Powerhouse. I'm not sure. The name may stick, but it's basically built off the steam turbine. Turn it into a hybrid.
Nice. So is it going to be like a telescope, or is it going to be a tube mod, or can you not talk about that yet?
It's going to be a tube mod, but it's going to be a little bit different than anything else out there. It's not going to be cheap. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be really expensive. There's a lot of machining involved in it, and it's probably got as much, if not more, machining in the mod than in the tube itself as the steam turbine has on it.
Oh wow. Okay. So it's gonna be a fancy lady then, huh?
Oh, real fancy.
Nice. So you're gonna do what are you gonna do? Hybrid connections for the steam turbines, or are you gonna sell it as a hybrid?
It's going to be a hybrid connection for the atomizer. I'm working on a 510 cap for it also to so you can switch it around. Of course, it'll be you know, it, basically, your Gus, your Caravella. I mean, it's going to interchange with all of them. Effective from base. So
Nice.
I'm using the same basically the same threads. I didn't really jump on board the other threading issue. So, I mean, we've got something established. Let's go ahead and use it.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. I'm excited. I'll be doing my best to get one of those. So, I'm going to ask you something that came up when we were doing the interview with Pedro from Caravella Mods. This is kind of a touchy subject for a lot of people, but I'm curious, what is your take on the whole flipping thing that's gotten so hot in the mod community with mods, in particular your mods?
Uh, it don't. Like I said, I mean, it don't really matter to me. I mean, of course, I'm not all about buying something just to turn around and resell, but uh, to each their own, man. It's a community. We should all get together, and if people have the money to pay markups and want it now, who's to say they can't have it? You know.
Yeah. What about the people that do buy them just to turn them for profit, though?
Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time doing that with the mini micro. So
Yeah.
it's one per person. If you bought it just to flip it, you screwed up.
Fair enough. Um, all right. Well, why don't you know what I want to? Because I don't have a ton of time. Why don't we take a few questions from people that are watching the show right now? So if you guys have any questions for Doc, fire away. I've actually got a question from Samazon. She wants to know: are you going to be releasing some of the powerhouse with the steam turbine for those that might not have a steam turbine already, or is it just going to be the connection and the mod?
It is going to be the whole unit with a 510 cap.
Okay, so it is going to include the atomizer portion as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking maybe I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to market it as far as if I'm going to sell it mod only or mod with atomizer. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to have to sell both because I mean, you'll be able to take a steam turbine with a 510 connection, put the 510 cap on, and get the same effect. It just with the threads that I'm using, you'll be able to. I mean, you'll be able to put the steam turbine on the Fecta, the Caravella, the Gus, the Paps. I'm sure there's others. I'm just not off the top of my head. Can't think of any.
Right. All right. Let's see what else. Chris Capone's Pops wants you to know that he flipped his mini micro. Just wanted to let you know that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
And
I flipped a couple myself.
Nice. Let's see. I got another question from Will Marge 27. What gave you the idea for the steam turbine tank shield? It looks dope. That is a direct quote.
I was a millwright, and I worked on steam turbines, nuclear powerhouses. So whether it's coal or whatever, I mean, if you've ever seen the inside of a turbine, that's kind of where it came from.
Nice. So I guess that's where the name came from as well. For the powerhouse.
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
Okay.
So it's different, like I said, and I mean.
So another question from myself. What kind of spawned the dual coil? I mean, I think you were really the first one that was doing the stacked air holes and the dual coil, dual airflow setup. So what kind of gave you the idea for that?
Oh, the dual coils I like, a little bit warmer vape. I mean, you can run any of my atomizer single coil and get good flavor out of them, but you throw that second coil in it, and you just get you get the heat, and the stacked air holes. I was trying to get away from. Everybody hit me up for lighter draw addies, and I wanted to open it up and give a lighter draw, but didn't exactly want to punch big holes in it, so I started messing around with the stacked air holes, and it just happened to work out really well. I did it with a Bliss originally, and when I put it in with the steam turbine, the difference of the thickness of metal, it actually the steam turbine and Bliss Special actually breathe a little bit different. The Bliss has a little bit tighter draw, but with the turbine, it was just, I was amazed once it come off the machine, and I actually got to set one up and play with it. So I
Yeah.
just ran with it.
Yeah, the general consensus is that the steam turbine is a very special addy. So you're doing good work. Um, Anything else in the pipeline other than the powerhouse, or can you not talk about it?
Oh, I've got a lot of stuff. It's just I don't have enough machine time. The machines are constantly busy. I'm not doing any more turbines this year. I'm not doing any more Blisses this year. I might get around to doing the 22s. Um, Hopefully by this fall. I'm going to do more micros right now. That will be the next project. I only made 150 of them. I'm going to probably make another 300 of them for the time being. I'm not going to make a whole lot of them, but I might make more after the 22s. But most of my stuff is going to be kind of spread out. I'm getting enough projects out there where I can't do run after run of anything. So
Right.
a lot of my stuff's going to be once a year, twice a year, depending on what it is.
Fair enough. All right, I got a couple more questions from the audience, and then we'll kind of wrap up. So, Ciro wants to know: do you have any plans to do some type of bottom coil Genesis, kind of like a Tayfun, K-Fun style design, but in a a Genesis?
No,
No. All right.
no, I like the top coils. Lose a lot. I like the heat, so I find that you lose a lot of heat with the bottom coils, and I think
Yep.
it's just
I found the same. Um, are you still planning on? This is from Bushmaster AR-15. Do you still have something in the works for the Congestus, for an atomizer for the Congestus?
I played the fifth.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll see. We'll
All
see.
right.
I actually have a. I've been running the steam turbine on the Congestus a lot. Um, I don't really recommend everybody do it the way I do it, but I've been playing with some stuff to see what it takes to run the Congestus at 8 volts, essentially. So
Oh, okay. Nice.
I do have some stuff. I'm thinking about it. It's not a guarantee. It's going to kind of just the market on the Congestus is really going to determine what I do with it. Prototyping is expensive. Limited runs are incredibly expensive. Um, so we'll see what the market on the Congestus does. From what I understand, there's 100 of them in production right now, and he continues to do runs of 100 in the future. So we'll see what Velvet does before I commit to building anything for the Congestus. But it's not out of the question.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. Another question for you from Yardbird. How is the durability of the turbine shaft addressed, especially the balance? I'm not sure exactly what he means. Maybe you do.
I think he's probably talking technical. I hope he's not asking about the setting shaft alignment on a actual turbine because it's kind of delicate. So
He might be. Yardbird likes to mess with me and throw puns occasionally, so.
yeah, it may be what he's doing.
All right. Cool. Well, if anybody, do we have any last minute questions before I let Doc go here? I think that pretty much covers the questions I had from the audience. Um, yeah, exactly. Stereo Dreamer says, knowing Yardbird, he's probably asking about real turbine shafts. So,
Yeah, you have to call me.
yeah,
He's
all
really
right.
interested. I
I'm
think
gonna
the History channel's probably got a good program on that.
probably. He was talking about real turbines. Well, he did work on real turbines, Yardbird. That was kind of that was the idea behind the steam turbine atomizer. So, but all right, very good. Well, hey, Doc Dave, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know we kind of had to keep it short, but I still got to review 2 of your atomizers, so time is of the essence.
Yeah, I I got to do a review on the 22 myself. I'm sitting here playing with it. I played with different builds on it today. I've kind of found that five reps of 28 in a dual coil works pretty well on it.
That's that's basically what I'm running. I'm doing 4 of a 30, which is about the same
Yeah.
ohms. So yeah. All right, cool. Well, hey, thanks again, man, and I'm sure we'll be talking about the 22 prototype. So um, appreciate you coming on the show, sir.
All right. I'll talk at you later.
All right, thank you. Take care.
All right. You too. Bye.